Hi data professionals, Morten from Tabular Editor. In this video we are taking a look at how to connect to and transform data inside your semantic model. The general best practice when transforming data is to use the so-called Roche maxim, which states that data should be transformed as far upstream as possible and as far downstream as necessary. However, there are times where it can be useful or necessary to do transformations using Power Query inside your semantic model. It could, for example, be when you don't have access to other upstream tools, you're making simple transformations, or you're making transformations that only apply to that one specific semantic model. Let's take a look at 3 ways we can use Tabular Editor to edit and transform your data with Power Query. And make sure to check out the blog post detailing these 3 methods, which is linked in the descriptions below. The first approach I'm gonna show is to use the import wizard in Tabular Editor to connect to and transform your data. Tabular Editor supports a number of sources you can find using the import wizard. I have here a new model where I can right click on the model object, say import tables, and I'm gonna use implicit data sources so that the credentials are managed by the Power BI or Fabric service. And when I click next, a number of supported sources come up that I can choose from. Tabular Editor will write the Power Query that you need to connect to these sources and put it into the partitions of the tables. Let's take a look at how that works. I'm gonna choose an Azure SQL database and I'm gonna connect to my Spacepart dataset, choose the tables that I wish to import. And in this case, I'm gonna take my products and my brands, my invoices and my exchange rate. I'm gonna click next and confirm that I want to import these tables. So as we can see, when we open the products tables partition, Tabular Editor has actually written the Power Query that connects to that view in our Azure SQL database. I can also write my own Power Query within Tabular Editor. So if I, for example, want to remove the column MK from the product table, I can do it by writing the Power Query out. And I can update my schema, which will then change the columns and remove the MK column for me. So that was the first approach, which just uses the inbuilt functionality of Tabular Editor to create and then manually edit some Power Query. But what if I need to make more complex transformation? Well, let's take a look at how to do that with the second approach. The second approach we're going to look at is to use Power Query inside, for example, Power BI Desktop, and then copy the finished M code into Tabular Editor. So how would that look? As an example, I here have my model and I can preview my data in the exchange rate table. And I can see that the only thing that I can convert currencies into are euros. But I would actually like to be able to convert from any currency to any currency. And that requires some more advanced Power Query code, which I'm not able to write by hand. I'm therefore going to open up Power BI Desktop and connect to the same view in my Azure SQL database. I can now use the Power Query IU to get the transformation that I require, such as merging the table together with itself, expanding it into the different columns, writing a new conversion rate, and remove a few columns that I don't need at all. Once I've finished my transformation, I can go into the advanced editor of Power Query and copy out the code using Ctrl+C, bring it into Tabular Editor, and exchange the partition mQuery with the new transformed Power Query. Again, using this update table schema, I can detect the changes that I've made and have them directly applied to my model. This second approach can especially be used when you're connecting to data sources that Tabular Editor does not support, or you're just more familiar with the Power Query experience. The third approach is to use Tabular Editor as an external tool to Power BI Desktop. That means that you develop your model in Power BI Desktop, but use Tabular Editor as a way of becoming more productive and taking advantage of the different features in the tool. In general, you should use this approach if you're just more comfortable working and developing models in Power BI Desktop, only have a Pro license and not a PPU or premium capacity, or when you have a desktop edition license of Tabular Editor 3. What we're gonna do is to take Power BI Desktop that I have open here, connect to and transform our data inside the Power Query editor, and then open up Tabular Editor 3 as an external tool where we can continue to build measures and relationships and other objects. Those are 3 approaches with which you can connect to and transform data with Power Query using Tabular Editor 3. But what do you think about this? Which approach do you usually use? And what are for you the pros and cons of each method? Do let me know in comments below, and as always, have fun modeling.